Hi, in this video, we're going to be working in section 5.2. We're going to be talking about proportions. All right, so what is a proportion? A proportion is a statement that two ratios are equal. So the first problem, I'm going to be working with the worksheet for section 5.2. It says to state, indicate whether the statement is true or false. So is this a true statement? Is this a proportion, right? It's does 6 over 100 equal 3 over 50? Now, some of you might jump right in there, right? Write them both in lowest terms and see if they're equal. And that is a completely valid way to determine if this is a true statement. And if we do that, we're going to simplify there's a 2 and a 6 and the 2 and 100. And so we can 3 goes, I'm sorry, there's a 3 in the 6. 3 goes into 6, 2. I'm sorry. 2 goes into 6 3 times. And 2 goes into 150 times. So the 6 over 100 simplifies to 3 over 50, and 3 over 50 is in simplest terms and is equal. So we know that this is a true statement. We know that 6 over 100 is equal to 3 over 50 because when we simplified it, it was equal to it. But another way to check if these two ratios are equal is to look at the cross product. The cross product is 6 times 50, boom, boom, and see if that is equal to 3 times 100. So 6 times 50, boom, boom, does that equal 100 times 3 or 3 times 100? So let's go ahead and figure that out. The left-hand side, 6 times 50 is 300. The right-hand side is also 300. So, yep, that worked. So we see two ways to show that this is a proportion. 6 over 30 equals 3 over 50. Okay, so the next problem we're going to look at is another check to see if 25 over 30 is equal to 3 over 5. Let's go ahead and work on that. Number 2. 25 over 30, does that equal 3 over 5? So I'm going to just go ahead and check the cross products. And we want to know if 25 times 5 equals 30 times 3. Okay. And on the left-hand side, I get 125. And on the right-hand side, we get 90. And then so the answer is no. Those two ratios are not a proportion. They are not in proportion. Okay. So we have now, for number 3, we're asked to solve for x to make the ratios equal, right? So we're going to solve for x in the proportion. Number 3, x over 33 equals 7 over 11. So find the value of x that turns this statement into a true statement, into a proportion. So we're going to look at the cross product, and we're going to say 11 times x. If this was going to be in proportion, I would need 11 times x to equal 7 times 33. Okay, so let's go ahead and calculate out the right-hand side. I think it's 231. I'm going to check. 3 times 7 is 21. 3 times 7 is 21. And 2 is, okay. So 11x is going to equal 231. We're going to divide both. So this is now a multiplication equation, and we want to solve for x by dividing both sides by 11. So the question is, how many times does 11 go into 231? Long division day, guys, huh? Okay, 21 times. So x is equal to 21. And we can check on the back that we got it right. So particularly nice in this part of the learning to keep checking. Yep, 21. Okay. And so we're going to solve one more, and then you guys can do some problems on your own. 1/2, so for number 4, 1/2 x equals x over 11. So cross multiply or find the cross products. 1 times 11 equals 2 times x. Divide both sides. Well, that's 11 equals 2x. To solve for x, we divide both sides by 2, and we get that x is equal to 11/2. And I don't see that as an option. So maybe if I express this as a mixed number, I might recognize my answer. We could also use a decimal, but since the multiple choice options have whole numbers and mixed numbers, let's go ahead, and fractions, we'll go ahead and simplify this. So dividing 2 into 5. We get 5, excuse me, not a decimal place, but 5 1/2 is equal to x. Okay. All right. So we're allowed to have fractions in the proportions. Okay, so if you can press pause and complete problems 5 through 8, and I'll see you back, and we'll finish up the worksheet. So in problems 9, 10, and 11, we're still going to be doing the same kind of problem. We're going to solve for the proportion. We're going to find the value of x that allows these two ratios to be equal. So what we want to do is kind of practice with decimals and fractions. So it's the same idea in terms of how to make a proportion. You're going to cross multiply and solve for x using multiplication equation skills, right? But it's just we're dealing with more complex sort of numbers. Okay, so on this problem, we have cross multiply. 2.1 times 9 is equal to 2x. So let's clean up the left-hand side. Little multiplication here. 18.9. So I have 18.9 is equal to 2x. And now we have to divide both sides by 2 to solve for x. Let's bring that problem over. We'll do this problem right here. 2 into 18.9. 2 goes into 18. 9 times 2 is 18. And let's subtract and bring down the next digit, or a 9. 2 goes into 9. That's where the decimal point was, right? 2 goes into 9 4 times. We have 1, and let's add a 0 and bring it down. 9.45. Oops. Okay. So the left-hand side is 9.45, and the right-hand side is x. So there's our ratio. There's our value. 2.1 over x is equal to 9.45 over 9. All right, we're going to go to the next problem. Number 10. You can set that one up while I set it up. 6 over 1/5 equals 20 over x. And that's problem number 10. Okay. So cross multiply, we get 6x is equal to 1/5 times 20. Okay, so we're going to have to work with the side here with the multiplication. And I'm going to rewrite this as a fraction multiplication. Okay, and then work through this 1/5 times 20. Before we multiply fractions, we might want to find, simplify. So is there anything any factors in the numerator that also exist in the denominator? 5. 5 goes into 5 1 times. 5 goes into 20 4 times. So we have 6x is equal to 4. And now we need to solve for x. We're going to divide both sides by 6. X is equal to 4/6. And is that in lowest terms? Are there any common factors? In fact, there is a 2. 2 goes into 4 2 times. 2 goes into 6 3 times. X equals 2/3. All right. So I want you to wrap up the worksheet problem. Oh, I have one more problem. Actually, that one's worth our time. So let's go ahead and move on to number 11. Excuse me. Okay, so this is going to be a fraction. This is a problem full of fractions and math and arithmetic of all kinds. Okay, so we have 3.5 over 29 is equal to x over 20. We're going to cross multiply. Okay, once we cross multiply, we are going to end up writing all of the numbers as in fraction forms, but I think it'd be better to cross multiply first. So we have 3.5 times 20 is equal to 29x. Okay, so we're going to multiply over here. We need to write this as when multiplying, when there's a fraction, everything has to go to improper. Okay, so we're going to represent 3.5 as an improper fraction, and we're going to represent 20 as an improper fraction. So 3.5, 3 times 2 is 6 plus 1 is 7 over 2, and 20 is 20 over 1. And let's go ahead and simplify before we multiply. So 2 goes into 2 1 time, 2 goes into 20 10 times. So the left-hand side is 7 times 10 over 1 times 1. So we get 70 is equal, oops, I kind of jumped there. Still trying to simplify. Let's go ahead and keep bringing the work down. So this is 7 times 10 over 1 times 1 is equal to 29x. So over here, we just get 70 equals 29x. We're going to divide both sides by 29. And we get 70 over 29 is equal to x. And then I just went and looked at the answers, and I see that they have the answer expressed as a mixed number. So let's go ahead and rewrite 70 over 29 as a mixed number. 29 goes into 70 2 times. 29 times 2, 58. 29 times 2 is 58. We're going to subtract, and we get 12. So it's 2 and 12 over 29. So we have, I'll just clean that up now. The 70 over 29 is 2 and 12 over 29. Okay, so that's it for the videos. You can wrap up the worksheet. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you in class.